Okay, ladies and gents, it's time for Rage in the Cage.
Finish him.
So strap in and join the fight in the comments below. Pick a side, Team Marq or Team J. Who will it be?
Rage in the Cage, baby! Team J repping Home Alone. Team Titangoji repping Jingle All The Way. And Team Marq with Nightmare Before Christmas. All right, here we go, here we go. Oh my goodness gracious, I've been anticipating this for a long time. So Titangoji being our guest here, and you're right in the middle of the cage right now. Make your case why the best Christmas movie of all time is Jingle All The Way.
Okay, so the best Christmas movies are the ones about family.
Sorry.
And in Jingle All The Way, you have Arnold playing a businessman named Howard, and he's having a bit of a tough relationship with his family, like mainly his son Jamie. And now sure, like it is understandable why Jamie would have like this disconnect with his father. I mean, he's always busy, never shows up to karate class or anything of the matter, and also lets his wife Liz down a bit. So and it's really one of those movies where, I mean, you like. It's like you really get like a good sense of like what's what's at stake here. Like I mean we all make mistakes. We've all let people down one way or another, and we all tend to promise ourselves that it's never going to happen again. But alas, it just ends up it just keeps happening. But I mean, it's all part of life, and of course, in the end, Arnold does end up making rebuilding that good connection with his son and his wife by being Turbo Man at the end. And him like being Turbo Man at the end. It's I kind of find it pretty symbolic because everyone's got their favorite superhero, and Turbo Man was the superhero Jamie looked up to. And in a similar way, we also tend to look up to our parents as if they're like these almighty superheroes as well. But the movie makes it very clear that Howard isn't really like that. And just to kind of see Howard take on that persona at the end of the film is really heartwarming and just really touching. It's also a movie that, with me being a young adult, I'm a junior in college right now. It really makes me think, what example do I want to set for my children in the future? What kind of father do I want to be? How can I, what can I do to maintain, that great family dynamic, do everything in my power just to not let it fall apart. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that Jingle All The Way is a movie that absolutely anyone can relate to.
Wow, you know what? You just spun a whole new perception of that movie I've never heard from anybody.
Yeah, right.
So that's a pretty damn good argument. Marq, make your argument.
All right, so I will concur. Like, that was a great argument, and I am a fan of both of those movies, right? So I really like Jingle All The Way, and we had our retrospective on Home Alone, that 3-part series. That was super fun to do, and so I'm a fan of both of those movies. But as far as like the movie that I've picked, unlike the other two movies, the star of Nightmare Before Christmas is Christmas itself. right? So you have the main character, Jack Skellington, who runs Halloween Town, and everybody reveres him for how he can strike fear into the hearts of little kids. He accidentally finds himself in Christmas Town and falls in love with it, falls in love with the idea of Christmas, of happiness, of joy. There's this amazing song that he sings when he sees snow for the first time, which makes me think about the time when I was seeing snow for the first time as a little kid. You know what I mean? Like, there's all these little moments that really are definitive Christmas moments that are brought up in a new and exciting way that is juxtaposed by this character that is incredibly macabre, like a group of characters that are macabre, that are trying their best to recreate this holiday that they don't even understand. You know, like there's the scene in, where Jack calls a meeting and he's trying to explain to them what a present is. Like, oh, you have this box. Oh, do you put shrunken heads in it? You put a stocking on the wall. Does the foot stay attached? Like, they don't get like what makes Christmas special, but they're all in on the idea of doing it. And this sense of community that comes out of them trying to recreate that, and even in the moment where Jack feels that he's failed, he's actually won, because the point of him even doing it is to create the joy of Christmas itself. And so to me, that is like the hallmark of a Christmas movie. And that's why I think it's the best one.
Wow, dude, I underestimated Marq tonight. I thought he was gonna be like gonna fall into my trap. So before I get to why Home Alone's the best of all time, let's go to the chat right now. You guys are amazing. Look at that. So Brian agrees with you, Marq. Shay Smithers says, "Give me a Christmas Story." That's one that everyone knows. Scribes with me. One. Adam's with me. He gets it. He's in his 30s. He gets it. He says Home Alone. Cindy, of course, the lovely Cindy Lou Withers is gonna say Team Marq. She's doing good by you. And then we got some. Let's see. Kat F says Christmas Story is. Paul Tackett says the Star Wars holiday. You guys are amazing, dude.
You can't shade Star Wars holiday special 100% because it introduced us to Boba Fett. So you gotta give it. I was just about to say that. Yeah, you gotta at least give it respect for that.
Shay Smithers also says Die Hard and Gremlins. Those are good ones. Like, my gosh. And Follow On Gaming, our moderator, says the Santa Claus. You guys are amazing. This is why we love doing Rage Cage, because we want to hear what you guys think. But listen, Home Alone is undoubtedly the greatest Christmas movie of all time. And you want to know something, Marq? You unknowingly didn't realize that this whole time, this Home Alone surge that we're seeing all over the place, Marq, you played a big role in that. You did that retrospective with us, and we kept getting all these messages from everybody across the world saying, oh my God, that was a great look back you did. I'm going to go buy Home Alone right now, and oh my God.
Awesome.
So, like, Marq unknowingly just was part of this Home Alone surgence that's been happening this past month because of NerdCage Live.
And I didn't even want to do it. Remember, like, we were like talking about, like, yeah, we got to do a Home Alone look back. I was like, Home Alone? What? Like, no, I don't want to do that. And like, come on.
And you unknowingly
but it was so much fun.
Fresh in people's minds. And you know what? Yes, Home Alone is here's why. Because it's about family, okay? You know, you got this little Kevin McAllister just like, I want my family to disappear. And then he's like Home Alone. He's having a good time and this, and that. But then at the end, he misses his family. And, of course, we have the two of the most iconic Christmas characters of all time. I'm talking about the Wet Bandits. I mean, come on now. The Wet Bandits are a huge role in that movie. And the goddamn Uncle Frank and that crazy family, Buzz and all that. And, of course, you guys are forgetting the one-liners, okay? I know, Titangoji, I know you got the put the cookie down. No! But the one-liners in Home Alone stand to the test of time. You know, Buzz, your girlfriend. Wolf, Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. Like,
Where's your
Home Alone is like the
Christmas
most
spirit?
quotable Christmas movie. And again, it's a time capsule. You know what? We did a 30th anniversary look back. Want to know something? 50 years from now, another 20 years from now, whatever, 100 years from now, people are going to look back at this movie. Home Alone is going to stand the test of time more so than A Wonderful Life, more than Scrooge. Yes, I said it. Home Alone is going to stand the test of time forever.
Tell us how you really feel about the movie.
I came here to win, baby. So round two. Titangoji, come on, counterpunch us. What do you got?
Okay, so I just want to say that Jingle All the Way is a film that actually aged better as time went on.
No,
because that movie is not only is about family, it's also about consumer culture. Now nowadays, consumer culture, it's everywhere. Now, and not being like a product of the '90s, you have like Marvel characters plastered all over the place. Now you see Marvel characters plastered all over the place, and now everyone's trying to get like the hot new thing. And in Jingle All the Way's case, it's Turbo Man. Everyone wants a fucking Turbo Man. Like how this year everyone wants a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox One Series X whatever it's called, Triple X. So yeah, and yeah, and again, you know, and also going back to the whole theme of family, with Arnold trying to like reestablish this, you know, connection with his family, you know, him being busy all the time. He's completely out of the loop on like this Turbo Man character, like the Turbo Man show, the characters and all that. Like he doesn't know a thing about it until like his son Jamie straight up says, "I want the Turbo Man action figure with little rockets, the jetpack, and little voice box where he says it's turbo time," and like. And then later when Arnold's wife asks him if he got the Turbo Man doll, like, you know, he didn't get that doll, and he's like, "Oh, I forgot the Turbo Man doll, of course." So he pretty much lies about getting it, and then she's like, "Good, because they're probably like super hard to find now." And then that's when the ball gets rolling.
Okay, very compelling.
Fatality.
So, Mark, come on. Where's your counterpunch at?
So yeah, defense rests, man. Like everything that I think is great about Nightmare Before Christmas, I said in the first round. I think that the star of the movie is Christmas. It helps us to take a look at the things that we love about Christmas, the from the traditions to the feeling to the excitement that we have for it, even just breaking down like each moment, each little iteration of what what each of us like has as far as like Christmas traditions and things like that, and our own understanding of it, our own love for Santa, like, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's really all I have to say about it, man. I don't really have anything extra to add.
Okay, so I'm going to close with this, all right? I'm just going to deliver the KO punches right now. All right, Jingle All the Way. Okay, great. It's a nice little Christmas movie. But you know what? It's a movie about Arnold getting cucked by his neighbor.
But he doesn't get cucked, though.
And Mark, let me tell you something. Nightmare Before Christmas is not even Tim Burton's best Christmas movie. Batman Returns is Tim Burton's best Christmas movie. So,
well, see, that's an argument that we had last week. I don't think that it's a Christmas movie because you can take the Christmas element out of it and it's still like a badass Batman movie. Yeah, I think that Christmas needs to be at the forefront for it to be considered a Christmas movie.
And I just feel that A Nightmare Before Christmas feels more of a Halloween movie than Christmas. That's all. That's all, because
I think the difference there is that the whole point of Nightmare Before Christmas is that you're trying to make Christmas happen. So if you take the Christmas element out of it, it's just a normal day for Jack Skellington. It's not a movie. But like if you took like a movie like Batman Returns or Bridget Jones's Diary and you just set that at any other time of the year, well, you still have a movie there.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm saying is the difference. Now with Home Alone, I can consider that a Christmas movie because
it is a Christmas movie, and it's the best one.
Marley
Team J all the way.
Is trying to get his family, he's trying to reconcile with his family for Christmas. And that's the whole point of the side story. And I can definitely respect that. You know what I mean? And for me, I do get those Christmas feels because it has all the hallmarks of Christmas. It has snow, tree, fake Santa, has all that good stuff in it. So in that respect, Home Alone is definitely a Christmas movie. Batman Returns, no, definitely not.
But yeah, Home Alone's the best because you know what? It's just everything's there. It's about family. There's the slapstick. It's an enjoyable overall movie, and I just feel like you can't have Christmas without Home Alone, especially in the past 30 years. It's grown into like pop culture everywhere. That's why I got the sweater on. That's why people have been demanding this movie more and more. My best friend, Ryan Baker, if you're here, he just showed it to his kids, and they're like 5, and like they fell in love with it. Like this is gonna stand the test of time. And like I said, with all it's a complete movie. It's got a great score, a great build-up. Macaulay Culkin is miles above any child actor that ever walked the earth. Like the movie's got everything, and it's just and the one-liners. I mean, what hasn't been said already? If you guys want to go really, really, really deep into Home Alone, watch our 30th anniversary look back. Sorry, shameful plug right there. And let me tell you something. Yes, John Candy is Satan, and yes, the old man Marley was Jesus Christ. So you know what? If people want to take it that far, it's got some of the religious elements in there, but the more importantly, it doesn't matter what religion you come from. Everyone can relate to this movie because at the end of the day, it's about family. Family is more important than presents at the end of the day. Even though the McAllisters have everything, it seems. I wonder how they got all that money. Cough, cough. He's a mobster. Anyway, it's Christmas.
So I have an answer for that. Like, so I actually rewatched it the other day, and so. It's not like, remember we brought up one of the points was like, oh, well, how are they able to afford this trip to Paris and they're flying first class and then they're able to fly back and there's no big deal. Well, the reason is because Kevin's dad didn't pay for the trip. His brother who lives in Paris paid for it. So what is his brother? Maybe his brother's a mob boss or a drug lord.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe he's getting all the drugs shipped from Paris across the ocean and eventually it goes into Chicago. Anyway, yes, but that's a good one. But anyway, finally, everybody, I want to know what your Christmas movie is, but between these 3 movies, come on, go Team J all the way. Team J all the way, let's go. That is my closing argument, so yes, there you have it. That's all I got, and Titan, come on, give your closing argument.
I didn't even mention Sinbad.
Sinbad
is funny in that movie. And I also really like how he pretty much plays like a worse version of Arnold's portrayal of Howard. He's very, very bitter. You can tell he does not get along well with anyone. He thinks Christmas is like a huge scam because capitalism and whatnot. And deep down, they both really want to get this Turbo Man doll, and it makes for some pretty hilarious moments. The one that comes to mind is when there's that radio station that says if you can name all of Santa's reindeer, then you can get a free Turbo Man doll. And then it's like a mad dash to this radio station. They're trying to get that goddamn Turbo Man, and then out of nowhere, Sinbad comes with this package. He says that it's a bomb. He's doing everything he can just for that Turbo Man, which also pretty much plays into the whole consumer culture aspect of the film. Everyone's willing to shell out all of this stuff just for one measly little thing. And then it turns out to actually be a bomb, and it also makes for some pretty pretty funny quotes in that movie. Like after the bomb goes off, Sinbad's all, really was a bomb. This is a sick world full of sick people. and speaking of quotable lines, we did mention put that cookie down. No. There's also, where's your Christmas spirit? When the store workers are laughing at Arnold because he's trying to find the Turbo Man doll. They're all laughing at him because, there's no way you can get that. And then there's Paul White, the Big Show, all dressed up as Santa, and he's all, "Gonna take your balls, Bob."
Can I point something out real quick before we get to Mark's closing argument? I want to point out a quick fun fact there. The fact that Jingle All The Way's got two major Simpsons characters, Phil Hartman, the cuck neighbor there, that is Troy McClure. Hey, this is Troy McClure. And then, you ready for this one? I don't know if anyone knew this. The scene in Jingle All The Way where that one lady who kind of hit on Arnold and she gives him the toy and it turned out to be like the pink guy or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Booster, yeah.
You know who that lady was?
It was a voice actress for Bart Simpson, correct?
No, Lisa.
That
was Lisa Simpson.
Right. Okay.
I just want to point that out. That's just some fun facts there. So Mark, come on, one last closing argument, Mark. Come on,
finish him. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not a Christmas guy, so like I don't really have like much of a closing argument.
Grinch.
Like I'll just, you know what I mean? Like I'll just say that the reason why I wouldn't pick Home Alone is because you kind of have to be like a little kid to watch it the first time to have the nostalgia.
What are you saying, Mark?
Well, the same thing that I said in our podcast, which is like most people that like love Home Alone saw it when they were little. Like I was 19 when it came out. So while I recognize that it's a good Christmas movie, I don't love it because I wasn't little and couldn't connect with Kevin McAllister the way that a fifth grader could. So like that's what I'm saying is like that is not a movie that necessarily has something for everybody. And
Wrong.
Like, yeah, well, how would you know? How would you know? Because like you were what? How old were you when you saw it?
4.
I was 19. So this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that that's correct. So that's all I'm saying. That's good. That's what I'm going to close out. But I will say this: I need to mention an honorable mention, right? So
yeah, I got one too. Go ahead.
All right, so I have an honorable mention. My honorable mention is a movie called Rise of the Guardians. It's an animated film. I actually really love this film because it's, for anybody who hasn't seen it, it's basically the Justice League, but with like all childhood characters. So you have Santa Claus, you have the Easter Bunny, you have Jack Frost, Sandman, the Tooth Fairy, and they're all like basically superheroes. And, you know, they're fighting. It's
like the super best friends on South Park. Almost.
Essentially, yeah. It's essentially that. So, and they're basically like, they're fighting this supervillain who wants to basically spread fear throughout the land and make it so that children don't believe in any of these characters. It's not necessarily a Christmas movie. I don't know if I would call it a Christmas movie, but Christmas is a big part of it. It's a big part of the forefront. It takes place there. Jack Frost, who is like a winter character, is like the main character, and it's basically his origin story as a guardian. And so yeah, I kind of like that movie better than the three that we mentioned, but I wanted to pick a movie that was definitively Christmas, and that's why I picked the one that I did.
Yo, Davis, do you have a honorable mention?
Eyes Wide Shut.
Okay.
Though that's really more for last week's Rage in the Cage. And while Eyes Wide Shut technically is a Christmas movie, I mean you can make the argument that it is, but it's not really a Christmas movie. So that's just my honorable mention.
Okay, I have one honorable mention. We'll get out of the cage. Okay, so Final One Gaming, if you're still in here, we saw this movie together a few years ago, but what another movie that I've made it mandatory viewing for me personally in the last few years, and I fell in love with this movie because it made me laugh so hard, and it still does, is a movie called The Night Before with Seth Rogen. Who's there that plays Falcon there? Mackenzie.
Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie. Yeah, Anthony Mackie
Okay.
and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Great movie about three childhood friends who go out and party and get high before Christmas. That's just basically it in a nutshell. Oh yeah, and Michael Shannon is in it as a drug dealer. Like,
Nice.
you guys have got to watch that movie. I've kind of made it like, again, it's like been a tradition for me for the last few years. Hold on, let me go grab it. It's right here. If anyone can see that, this movie is.
We can only see the bottom. Pull it out. Just a
Well,
little
I'm
bit
saying
more.
the chat can see it, but if that's a little down
Okay.
to you guys, you can see it right here. But yeah, it's a fantastic Christmas movie for adults only. Let me repeat that, for adults only. So so yeah, if you want, celebrate Christmas the way I do by watching Home Alone during the daytime and watch The Night Before at night, that's Christmas right there, baby. All right, that was awesome. So let's get out of the cage and let's open up the floor for a little bit. What do you say, guys?
Ooh, trying to get out of the NerdCage, are ya? Well, before you go, hit that subscribe button. And if you're really intrigued, ring that bell. Thank you for dropping by. Until next time, tell everyone you know about NerdCage Live!